Hello and welcome to Kitchen Counter Crafts. If you like this video, would you please like, comment, share, and subscribe? Well, what do we have here? I have the LAMY Imporium, and that is an Emporium with an I, not an Emporium. However, I did some research, and Emporium and Emporium are pretty much the same thing. It's just a difference in spelling. But I'm going to start actually with the big box that this lovely pen comes in. And this one has some writing here, not really sure why. But this one was purchased from Endless Pens. And it says extra fine nib on the box, but my husband actually exchanged it out for a fine gold nib. And so anyway, so you can actually swap out nibs yourself. This one is the titanium, or it's called titanium/platinum. Don't know why. Make up your mind. Either it's titanium or platinum. But when you get this pen, it's a big old box. And I wanted to share that because, I mean, you're paying quite a bit, so you must have a ginormous box that it comes in. So it came like this. Oh, no, that's not the right pen. Let me zoom out here. Like that. And just a very nice presentation. You can see where the pen went. And it let me... okay. I don't know. I thought there were papers and such. Oh, yeah. Okay. There are. Oh, yeah. That's right. You get this actually a nighttime reading book right here. So it tells you all about the pen and just, you know, how wonderful it is. You get like a fold out and then like a little bit about the designer and features and whatnot. So that is a part. You also get a cleaning cloth and a converter. So a few items in here that are very nice. While I have the cleaning cloth, let me just clean this off. And that way, oh, I got some handprints on the book also. That is a no-go. Gosh. Got all kinds of things on here. All right. Let me put this away. So, very nice box, very nice presentation for the LAMY Imporium. But now let's get into the review of this pen. All right, so let me just tell you, I rave about our fountain pen club. Absolutely rave about it. Love the people, love everything about it. What I don't love about it, though, I will just be honest here, is that you get to try other people's pens. And that is exactly what happened here. And we have a architect friend who comes to the pen club, and he had, I think, at least one LAMY Emporium. And my husband looked at it and literally love at first sight. Absolutely loved the pen, loved the sleek look of it, and said, "What is that? I must write with it." And that was it. Since then, he pretty much was kind of obsessed with it. And let me tell you why he was obsessed with it. It's because it is a very cool, sleek looking pen. It's titanium coated, I'm sure, but it is a metal pen. What LAMY says in that booklet is that they do this special kind of treatment on the pen, so it's very durable, it's metal, and so it's sturdy, it feels sturdy, it's actually very, very nice. The body is super sleek and very minimalist design, just like other of LAMY's pens. And it has this kind of striated barrel, but the cap is very smooth and matte. And then it has an integrated clip, which is very glossy and shiny. So kind of a very interesting play on metals. Also, the end is the same kind of shine, high gloss with my fingerprints on it now, as the clip. So very interesting design. But I think this is when videos are not enough, in my opinion, because you cannot feel the weight of this. And so let me just share with you. It is about 47 grams, 46 to 47 grams. So just so you know, closest thing I could think of and what other people also compare it to is the Diplomat Arrow. One of my favorite pens, by the way. Love this thing. It's just so cool looking. So kind of similar, right? And not in shape or anything like that, because this is a classic cigar shape that is very cylindrical, very sleek looking. But this is an aluminum body. And so this is about 30, right at 36 grams, I want to say, of weight. So this is heavier by 10 grams. So that's kind of considerable with the cap, of course. So I'm going to set this aside for a second. We're going to just talk about this guy here. And so you already heard me rave about the way the body is made, but you also have the, I'll show it to you, not upside down, the LAMY understated, on the side of the clip so that, it doesn't call too much attention to it. Although the whole pen calls attention to itself because that's kind of how that went. And it's also available in the matte black, which is so beautiful. Very, very beautiful finish. So again, we ordered the extra fine, but my husband swapped it out with the fine. I was getting ready to uncap it, which is bad, right? So we want to twist, and that's where the first problem kind of comes up. So I'm going to just show you. It's going to take one turn and 2 full turns. Maybe even a little, maybe even a little bit more than, it's like 2 1/4 turns. So that's a lot of turns, especially if you're like sitting at a desk or at a meeting. You're literally kind of screwing and unscrewing this pen quite a bit to get it to come undone. So, but then it reveals this beauty, right? So this is so beautiful. It reminds me of the Waterman Laureate with kind of the gradual lines up, but this one actually tapers up to the top, and then it has the two-toned 14 karat bicolored PVD nib. Actually, PVD is the finish on the top. And so you have this lovely body, and the grip is just super cool. I was kind of worried about the grip, to be quite honest, because sometimes you've got these grooves and you're wondering, are these grooves going to literally leave grooves in my finger? And they don't. They're very, very nice and very smooth, I might add. So let's see what else. Titanium matte black finish. Oh yes, it's designed by Mario Bellini. And what's so significant about that is that he's truly a designer and was one of the only, I think the only living artist to have a solo exhibit at the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. So this is designed by a person who knows art. And I think that's the other, whoa. Let me not let this expensive pen go barreling over. So I'm going to hold onto it. That's the other problem here. If you have it, you might want to make sure that you're resting it next to the cap. And while this will actually post, because it's got the little place that you can post your cap. However, when you post this, it becomes, I'm going to zoom out again. For me, huge, right? So that's it's towering above my hand there. But also for my husband, he said it becomes very heavy and actually gives him fatigue when he's writing pages, upon pages. Sorry about that. I got a pen up my sleeve, literally. I keep knocking that around. Sorry about that again. So let's go ahead and put this to the writing test, and then we'll talk about pros and cons in just a little bit. I didn't even zoom in on the nib, did I? This is a Rhodia dot pad, and you can hear the kind of, so there's some slight feedback, and that's not a bad thing for me. So actually a really nice fine line on this nib. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at that nib. So very cool looking two-tone, as you can see, right in the center. And then the 14 karat gold marking. And the back side is not anything exciting to look at. I'm also gonna just, while I have it up close, show you that this does have a converter, LAMY converter, and it isn't a piston fill, which I don't know, kind of surprises me at the price point, because it's like, I don't know, if you're spending at least $450, which is what the price point is at the time of filming this, you'd at least have a piston fill, but not a converter. Don't know. I don't know how you feel about that. So I have a couple pros and cons about this pen. The pros are that the threads are very comfortable. People online compare it to the LAMY Persona, which was a bigger pen. It was a little bit bulkier, not as sleek, and actually many said that it wasn't as comfortable as the LAMY Imporium is. It has a super smooth, easily interchangeable gold nib, and you can, you know, try out different sizes if you don't like it. You don't have to be married to it. You can swap it out. So that's actually very nice. The cons are that the turns are kind of annoying. And also you cannot really cap it. It feels very imbalanced, and if you have smaller hands, it's very odd, because it really elongates the pen. In fact, I didn't measure it, did I? Let's go ahead and measure that as well. And then also the weight of it, I think, is another factor of how this kind of feels. So let me cap it here just loosely, but it's right at a little bit more than 5.5 inches. And compared to the Arrow, it's a little bit longer than the Diplomat Arrow. And again, similar kind of in the body feel. And this is a snap cap though, and it's just great. It's got a very nice snap cap and feels magnetized. I don't know if it is or not, I don't remember. So the Arrow is actually a little bit larger of a pen, just a larger nib also, but in terms of the size of the nib, I don't think that's a con at all. The nib is very delightful. It's very nice to write with, and has that very distinct kind of bounce that a 14 karat gold nib would have. So I think that's all I have on this pen. I don't know how you feel about it. It is very striking. So it's a lovely pen. I didn't even, again, gosh, it's because it's late at night, I think. But I didn't mention that the ink is Iroshizuku Shin Ryoku. Such a pretty color. So what do you think? I don't know. Is it worthwhile to pay the extra cash to get this pen? I know it has a gold nib, which is a big selling point, I think, and makes it just a very worthwhile pen. The titanium color is really beautiful. I don't know if you can tell, but it's very unique, and certainly the design, you can tell that it's very set apart. So definitely, if you have this pen, And if you have an opportunity to write with it or to borrow it and really feel for yourself what it feels like, it's very substantial and well made. The minute I touched it, I was like, wow, that's a nice pen. And so sometimes you get into like the $300 mark with some of the fountain pens and you just kind of wonder like, what did I just pay for? But you don't feel that way with this pen. So let me know what you think. Is this something that you would purchase? Is this something you've even thought about or are interested in buying? It's been around for at least a decade now. It was put out in 2015, but I don't think this pen gets much play, which is kind of sad because it's a beauty and really a pleasure to write with. So in the comments, let me know what you think. Is this something you would spring for? Is it a grail pen? Is this something that maybe you didn't know about? So I'd love to hear. Until the next video, bye.